What's going on YouTube? It's Daniel, it's Kenneth, it's Dan and Ken PT, and today we're going to talk a little bit about ITB Syndrome.
Okay, time for some anatomy. So your IT band or your iliotibial band originates from the glute max and tensor fasciae lateral up in the hip. It runs down the side of your thigh. It's a thick band. And then it goes down and attaches to the Gerdy's tubercle.
Thanks for that, Dan. Great anatomy lesson there. Now, what is the function of the IT band, Dan?
It allows for bracing, stabilization of your knee, especially when you're walking, running, just holding the opposite limb up.
Right, when you're supporting all your weight onto that one leg. Now, if you have weak hips, like your gluteus medius, minimus, and maximus, then your IT band sometimes takes too much load and does all the work. And then you could get what's called IT band syndrome, which is pain kind of right towards that insertion point at the knee. Or you could even get what's called snapping hip syndrome, which I have a little bit on my left hip. It's when you walk and you're loading that leg and you feel a little snap in your hip. Now, Dan's going to show a couple things, and I'm going to show something to help with your hip strengthening to kind of alleviate and prevent this IT band syndrome from happening in the future. Dan, take it away.
So tight tissues can also cause IT band syndrome, specifically tightness up in your hip and the IT band itself. So I'm going to show a stretch you can do to stretch your IT band. So I'm just laying on the couch, but you can do this on the side of your bed. That's more comfortable. So the side that's affected, you want to go roll onto your side and let that affected side leg hang off the edge. You'll feel a stretch right along the side of your thigh where your IT band is. Another way you can do this stretch on your back, lying down, is grab a strap, belt, towel. I'm just going to use my jacket and kind of hook it around your foot. Keep your legs straight, and then you can bring it up and across. And again, feeling for that stretch in your IT band on the side of your thigh here. You can hold the stretch for 30 seconds. Do that 2 or 3 times, several times a day. Another thing you can do at home is to foam roll. If you don't have a foam roll, you could also use a tennis ball. I'll show you how to foam roll first. So you're going to want to get on the ground, kind of on your side here. Kind of start with it up at your hip. You're going to just slowly roll down, roll up so that the foam roll comes down towards your knee, and then come back up. It's going to feel a little uncomfortable, but you want to keep this going for about a minute or two, kind of just nice and slow.
Now, what's this good for, Dan?
This is good for, again, improving mobility of your IT band, especially if there's like some tightness there. And it can also help relieve with some pain. And if you don't have a foam roll, you could use a tennis ball, a cross ball, any type of ball that's kind of firm, or even just make a fist and use your hand. I'm just doing this sitting down. But similar to the foam roll, just apply some pressure, just roll it kind of up and down the side of your thigh. Again, for a couple of minutes. It may feel uncomfortable, but afterwards it should feel pretty good. You might get pain relief from doing this, and again, working on improving your mobility as well.
And this is good if you already have IT band syndrome, and you could do this before going for a walk or run.
Yep.
Okay, this last one, guys, is a full body exercise, kind of working on that hip strength, thoracic mobility, getting the whole body together. So let's say my right leg is affected, okay? I'm going to step forward, do a little mini lunge, soft knee, reach across, keeping your eyes forward, and then back. Come forward, soft right knee, you're not going too deep, and then reach across 45 degrees as far as you can. This is like the Tom twist almost in that other video, check it out. come forward, reach, and then back. Reach, and then back. Keeping the eyes forward for that thoracic and cervical rotation. Then back. You can also switch to the other side. Reach. Reach. So what are you going to feel here? You're going to feel a couple things. You're going to feel your hip loading. You're going to feel a nice stretch in that hip joint on the front foot. And you're also going to feel some rotation in your neck and a nice stretch in your thoracic spine and scapula. And then back. Reach and back. Stay consistent, guys. It doesn't matter how often you do it. Do it maybe a couple times a week. You pick your schedule and stay consistent, guys. Consistent. In conclusion, guys, the IT band is a long band, a sheath almost, that goes from your hip down to your knee on the outside of your leg. And if you have a weak hip, sometimes the IT band can be working overtime and you can get IT band syndrome. So bottom line, you want to work on stretching, massage, mobility, blood flow of the hip and the thigh and the trunk to prevent IT band syndrome. If you do have IT band syndrome, like Dan says, make sure you're stretching it, warming it up, massaging it before any activity to help alleviate the symptoms. Dan, any other comments today?
Don't forget to buy candy for Halloween.
Yes, please buy candy for Halloween. Kids out there, make sure your parents inspect the candy. We don't want anyone getting poisoned by their neighbor. God forbid. It's better to be safe than sorry, guys. I remember when I was a kid, we used to go trick-or-treating. One of our neighbors used to give out combs. Have you ever gotten anything besides candy?
Like fruit, like an apple, like those kind of.
Oh.
Not. Just
No caramel on it, just an apple?
Just an apple.
Wow. Green or red?
I think green. I just threw it out.
Don't waste food, kids. But again, have your parents check for that poison. You don't want to be poisoned on Halloween, God forbid. Guys, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We really appreciate it. If you have questions, do not hesitate to email us at danandkenpt@gmail.com. And remember,
live,
laugh,
love.